Poppy woke, shrugged on a cheap red velour robe and his sweatpants, and laced up his Reeboks. The temperature would rise into the low 70s in Detroit that morning, but with age came perpetual chill. He went first to the front door to pick up the morning free press, and then shuffled briskly into the kitchen. There was no finer hour for Michael Ashner than the breakfast hour. He snapped the switch and watched the lights blaze over the white countertops, white tile floors, whitewashed cabinets. He relished being awake, being alive, and embracing each day. An assortment of pills, pinks, greens, white and blue capsules, lay in a flip-top case on the counter near the refrigerator. Poppy opened the FR section, started the coffee maker, and poured a glass of cranberry cocktail. He gingerly sat down at the small 4-person glass kitchen table. Slowly and methodically, Poppy swallowed each of his 7 daily pills with a purposeful sip of juice until FR was empty and the glass drained. He heard a small bird chirping near the window on the willow tree and the motor, somewhere not too far away, of a neighborhood weed whacker. He flipped on the television by hand, and when the coffee was ready, he poured himself a mug, dribbling in a bit of half and half, and began watching his morning shows. Carmen came stomping in 20 minutes later, looking akin to Poppy's doppelganger in her own robe and slippers, her coal gray hair slicked back thinly in a fierce little bun, twisted and pert atop her head. She was 14 years younger than her employer, but tended to move even slower, with more frequent oohs and ahs in answer to the aches of her aging body. Poppy irritated Carmen like hell by wagering bets on who was going to die first. He'd pick through the spare change in his pockets and slap it on the counter. "I'll outlive you by 3 years. 2, minimum." Or in his friskier moods, he'd comment in the mornings on how chilly it had been the night before, and boy did he wish he knew some warm-hearted woman to help heat it up. Those remarks in particular proved to rattle poor Carmen every time. She'd call her boss an old fool or a crazy bastard. Poppy not only got such infinite kicks out of razzing his housekeeper, he was also very aware that she moved a little faster when she was angry. Poppy was no fool. At age 74, any boost in her energy level and speed was a welcome relief to a hungry man waiting 45 minutes while soup was warmed, or an omelet flipped, or even 2 pieces of bread toasted. He knew better than to comment directly on her slowness. She'd raise that right eyebrow in a most alarming way and respond by taking a damned hour and a half to fix his meal. Or worse, those pieces of toast would come flying in his direction. Carmen lifted a 20-year-old skillet from beneath the stove and a half carton of eggs from the refrigerator. "Don't forget to leave the eggs a bit soft," he reminded her. As if Carmen needed to be reminded of this after all these years. As they ate their eggs and sipped their coffee, the local AM news played in the background. He read one section of the paper and passed it her way, although Carmen only read the classifieds. They were like an old married couple, this man and his long-time employee. When the paper was finished, Poppy fed each page into the shredder beside his chair. Newspaper, letters, financial statements, all were shredded. Michael Ashner knew not to leave paper trails behind. Besides, they made great compost along with coffee grounds and eggshells for his small vegetable garden. He turned his attention to his letters. He took great pleasure reading correspondence from friends, those that were still alive. He read one missive from a long-time acquaintance in Bayonne, New Jersey, then pulled a sheet of stationery paper out from a nearby drawer and fired off a response. At 10 o'clock, his favorite block of programs, The TV Judges, came on, and Carmen ordered Poppy to lift up. She wiped the placemat beneath his cup and plate with a damp cloth smelling of mildew. She continued washing the dishes and cleaning the house, while he watched the knuckleheads try to get one over on Judge Judy.